It's Mauricio Mejia Live. Entertainment guru, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, author, and speaker. It's Mauricio Mejia Live.
The moment that I was given the green light and the opportunity, and they're like, hey, I'm really leaving. And I'm like, well, let me come in and learn every day. So I didn't get paid to learn the job. I came in and I worked every day and I learned. I was there when she got there. I was there when she left, and she showed me everything, because I wasn't not just managing the business. I was managing your personal life.
Money and everything.
That's right. That's right. So, and when I got to meet you, this mystical person, this person that they had created, this vision that I had, was not that. When you walked into the room, I remember shaking your hand and being so honored, one, to be in the presence and being able to give the opportunity, because you were another human being, just like no different than any of the other owner-operators that I had met, but this mystical illusion they had created as Harry's this, he's a shrewd businessman, he's the godfather, he's gangster, he's got the ties to the Bambinos. I mean, oh God, you can just imagine, right? I mean, it's just, you can imagine the bullshit, right? And not only that, but the illusion that they had of the nightclub operator back in the day, right? It was this perception. Harry, when I met you, I said, oh man, I'm like, for a second, I doubted myself. I said, am I really going to learn? What am I going to learn out of this? And I remember Monday, the first day of work, I'll never forget this day. We came in, and it was actually our first day of operating together. And we had a great weekend, and there was a lot of cash we had to process. And there was the processes and the way that you ran. And I remember it, I just remember it. But I remember the first day I walked into I don't want to call it the secret office, I call it the secret, but it was really the office where everything was stored. And I was told by Maziar and everyone, don't go into that. That's the room. And I was like, God, whatever. But it was the secret room, right? Or the way the illusion. I remember I walked in there so confident. I said, listen, Harry, my plan is only going to be here 3 years. This is 1997. I'm only going to be here for 3 years. And after that, I'm going to go be making my millions. And I'm going to go open up my own nightclub. And I'm going to go do all of this. And I remember you just looked at me and you gave me this look. And I said, he didn't fucking believe. He was like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. And I said, well, I'm going to be here only for 3 years. I was trying to make it a point that I'm going to be here only for 3 years and I'm going to make myself super valuable. And I just remember when you did that, I said, okay. Then 13 years later, now actually, if we think about it more, 30 years later, but 13 years later, I then opened up my own nightclub, but I was with you. I learned 13 years of experience, of school. I didn't want to leave because I felt that I was there at home now with you. And the freedom, again, going back to the freedom and the creative freedom that you gave me and Regina, because Regina then started dominating the rock en español market. We were dominating the market.
Well, that was the only one. Because
there was competitors, but we were dominating.
Nobody had the big artists in the rock en español.
Nobody had the big banda.
Yeah.
And the Mexican regional market, nobody had the rock en español. And nobody had top 40. Well, nobody dominated that much as top 40. Why? Because we also cornered that market. We had, between the buying power of the Tropicana, the Rodeo, and at the club at the time, Vertigo with Ed Pope and what he was controlling, we dominated all market, even the salsa market. There was no big salsa nightclubs also, too.
You said something about future and how much money they're going to invest. And this thing about Harry was difficult to meet, that wasn't what it was. See, the reality is, if you look at that time, I had the Mexican market. I had the disco market. Mm-hmm. I had the country bar.
Yes.
The Lariat.
Yes.
I mean, you look at me, an Armenian from Iran.
Yes.
What the hell did I know about country bar?
Yes.
I flew to Texas. I went to this bar called the Horseshoe Club.
Okay.
If you ain't cowboy, you ain't shit. And I went dressed up like a California. I'll go on there. And I went with this lady friend of mine. She was a Laura Starr from the Georgia Peach. Used to get mad at me. He said, Master, I have an ass here. Used to be the bad boy. with my accent. So I said, I'll show you guys. So I went and dressed up Tony Lama boots and Tony Lama hat and went in there. And I went in, the doorman says, he still ain't shit. But I got up and put a dance on with Laura. I called it Kansas City, Here I Come. Those guys had never seen a swing done, what I did. So the owner came and apologized. And I said, don't apologize. I'm here because I want to open this country bar. He said, okay, what do you need? I said, can't find band in San Jose. He says, I'll give you two sisters and a picker, guitar player. They'll come, they'll put a band together, get them a hotel room, you done. They'll do your club country. That's what I mean. When you get the know-how, I used to do the Vietnamese dance at the Paradise Beach on Thursdays.
Yes.
Who's ever heard of it?
Yeah, we dominated even the genres.
Exactly.
Yes.
See, what I'm trying to say for your future,
Yes.
It's there. You just have to be open-minded enough, Mauricio,
Yes.
that you bring the restaurants that do serve the caviar.
Yes.
You bring, because there is money in this town.
Absolutely.
They don't have to people in San Jose go to Los Gatos. They can have here. You can have a regular, nice Italian restaurant. But it's got to be nice.
Yeah.
Because it is, if it's not an upper in a class, you don't get the people who go home and tell their friends, you want a good steak, this is where you go.
That's right.
You want to bring your friend to show them off, you want a nice beluga caviar, this is where you go. I went to this restaurant called Beefsteak. I think you told me that to go in Pruneyard.
Yeah, no, I haven't been there, but
Somebody told me
yes.
to go there. And I went there and the caviar was green. I thought, really?
Yeah.
Caviar is a procedure, what you do with the egg. It's a fish egg.
Got it.
But it's what you do to it. See, when you want to do this downtown San Jose, you have to do something that is unique, has a prestige, and in its opposite level, highest level.
Yes.
Because the customers are there with the money.
Yes.
Believe you me, they're hungry
Yes.
to have a place to go, something new. But you can, because when I was at your party, almost everybody there was a millionaire and a billionaire maybe. and then they all were the biggest money making. But as I told you then, somebody did not pay attention to the ground level.
That's right.
And you should be the one because you have the experience.
Correct. Thank you. And yes, and that's how I've positioned myself.
Yes.
Within the group. And right now there's a group of people that are leading the charge. I'm working with 4 of the biggest titans in development. I tell myself I'm the 4th. I'm the baby shark. They're the sharks, and I'm the baby shark in the making. And I have the ability that I'm swimming with them and I'm learning. And that's what I learned in the entertainment industry was because I was with the best of this area. Again, we're looking at San Jose, Silicon Valley, global capital of the world of technology, real estate. We're in our own universe here. There's a 2-bedroom condominium here is $1.2 million. That says that there's a lot of wealth here, a lot of jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
The quality of entertainment. There's a lot of great restaurants too. They're scattered, but they're not in the downtown core. So we are right now, we have the ability to create this, and with the right visionaries and the right people that are willing to get behind and make those events and investments, sky's the limits. What you did for me was give me the freedom to be that person, and at the same time, I always did it at the highest level. Why? Because I also, my partner, Regina, was of the highest. You brought her up with that mindset of thinking high level, exposed to a lot of great things and good things in life. So the mindset complemented to where we were at. And we did, rock en español, you would think, oh, it's a bunch of rockeros, headbangers. It was the highest level of the rock en español at the time with what we had. We turned the Club Rodeo, which was the real nightclub back in the day. It was a shithole. We turned
Cantina.
It was a cantina, exactly. It was a cantina. We turned that into a money-making machine that was popping out diamonds.
Yes.
So not only are we kicking off, I'm doing now a Friday night where we're hitting 1,000+ people on Fridays at, we were hitting 1,500 people on Friday nights at the Fun House. And then I decided that I wanted to break off and do my own. And at the time, you bought the Rio, and it was a Rodeo Rio. We got to brand it. To this day, that sign is still up. That was my first sign. That was the first sign that I designed. Actually, the Rodeo, the Pussycat one is still. Nobody knows the silhouette or the story about it. But if you look at it, it used to be called the Purple Pussycat, right?
Purple Pussycat. I own that place.
So for me, when we got to do that, I got to then Regina got Friday night and I got Sunday night. I'm like, here we go again with us getting the off nights. I'm like, what? I'm like, can I just get a break? And what did we do the first night? We did an all ages. We did Groovy Sundays. I did a spin off of my groove it was Groovy Sundays. We did a spin and we called it The Groove. And it was all we did was replicate that. And I remember we had 1,500 kids. And the fire department comes because they saw the smoke coming out of the exhaust, and which it wasn't smoke, it was all the heat and the smoke machine. We were just blasting, and I remember that we closed the door, and the fire department said, if you don't open up this door, and they had the axe, they were ready to axe the door open. And that was how the grand opening started. And then, of course, obviously, it didn't last. We had to move it to the bigger location, and we ended up moving it to downtown to Notre Dame, and then the Groove was forever. Almost 10 years we were there until again.
I'm proud of you, Mauricio.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. It's just that the one that I told you, one lifetime is not long enough to learn from experience. You gotta have to learn other people's experience.
Yeah.
And you just have to be a listener, move around. Go where the best of what you want to do is, empower yourself with the knowledge, and you'll be successful. You are successful. What I mean, you go into a whole new area of redoing the downtown. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
And that is what it takes. That's what it takes. And you can learn as far as the decorations is concerned. For example, go to Vegas nightclubs.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Because those people have so much money to create. You want to do something for the people who like country music, go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then that's what you do. You go where the best is, and you take the knowledge, you bring it in San Jose.
Yes.
And the San Jose people who never been to New Orleans or Las Vegas, they go see the club, go, wow.
Right.
They go to the restaurant. Now, this is how we want the food. It's there. They need someone like you, open-minded, thinking high, the best there is, and you put it there.
Yeah.
This is what Susan Hammer tried. Unfortunately, it fell apart.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and we saw that and I've been using that narrative, in my conversations, where we talk about administrations going into the political world, right? The administrations. There was Ron Gonzalez. That was at the time after Susan Hammer. It was Ron Gonzalez. I wasn't too involved in politics, but I started to start paying attention to the politics. Ron Gonzalez just carried what Susan Hammer had started. Redevelopment Agency was pumping a lot of money at the time during that era. Then we have the .com bust. There's a change in guard there, and we have the mayor that wins at the time is Chuck Reed. And then from the Chuck Reed era to the Sam Liccardo, the last 16 years, if anyone could have screwed things up, was the administration, the Chuck Reed administration, which it's not that they with intention, their focus was somewhere else. It was not in the downtown. They were not people. That mayor was elected. He was from a North San Jose area. He didn't know the dynamics of what downtown San Jose was, and they neglected it, and then they allowed the police to dictate what is good or bad.
Oh, yeah, they really stifled it.
So they sucked the air out of it and choked it to death. Sam Liccardo, then we have 8 years of that. Then we have the next administration, which he did come out of the downtown, but his focuses were different. And Sam Liccardo, he did a good job in what he did, but again, his focuses was not the vibrancy of San Jose, because there was no real there was no real need at that time. Though I believe that they should have been paying attention to it. And then you have the pandemic that hits, and it just shuts everything down. It just disseminates everything here around the world, disseminates the hospitality industry, everything that could have been fixed just is gone. And the COVID killed the businesses that already had the symptoms of dying already, and it wiped them out. Today, it's like we're on ground zero. 2024, we're technically 1 year after the 2023 was like we're letting all the rules go out the door now. 2024 is truly the first year of post-pandemic, and the ability to try to bring back vibrancy and that to downtowns across the United States, we have to think differently. We have to bring in the right people, the people with the experience, with the vision, and with the influence, right? And the people that will get behind it to do those investments. And that's something that, again, I've been able to position myself with these groups, and I use the things that I was taught and that I picked up and learned through the people that have had an impact. And again, Harry, you've had such a big impact on a lot of people, from Jason Garner. We want to talk about people. Jason Garner, who then became CEO of Live Nation Latino. Manuel Moran,
Yeah.
who is now vice president at Live Nation.
Yeah.
There's many other promoters, young promoters that you have helped. I mean, my first multi-million-dollar deal at 25 when we opened up the vault. That in itself is a whole different story, but
Yeah.
the impact,
But that's a good lesson you learn.
100%, 100%.
Every good thing teaches you a lesson, and every bad thing teaches you a lesson.
100%.
And that's what we call a good experience, because you have
It's
all
expensive, too.
directions of it. You follow?
Yes.
Because if you always concentrate on the good side of it, you leave yourself vulnerable if something goes wrong.
Harry, I did from 15 years old to 25, that 10-year span that I spent in the nightlife industry till 2009. I never knew what losing was, like real losing. Like all I knew was win, fast, life. It was just winning. I mean, my losses, those small losses, I looked at them. Those are just little bumps on the road. But I was so arrogant. So my ego was so, and no one. I had all the answers. And I stopped listening to the people that were feeding into me, pouring into me the knowledge, because I felt that I knew it all. And until I really realized, and I lost what I felt was the beginning of something greater, right? I just got, to me, as we progressed, right, the vault was one of the next eras in Silicon Valley. It was now the 2000s. We come out of the 90s. We had successful run, Tropicana, all the clubs that I was managing for you, not only, again, managing the clubs, but managing your personal life and learning learning from you how to manage my own personal life. I would have thought that after all that knowledge, now putting it into play when I left on my own, that I would not have made the mistakes that I did.
Well, I mean, don't blame yourself. You had some people who were friends. And when friends become a partner, you let something go without checking into it to see what's going on. You can't do that. Because business is an animal on its own. It has its own rules. Whether it's your brother, sister, friend, or so on and so forth, it can't be left alone. If you remember one day when I went in a club and I said, Mauricio, this isn't working.
Right.
Your partners told me, Harry, if we wanted you as a partner, we would have had you, not Regina. What meant was, don't get into it.
Yeah.
The mistake was, isn't me, I don't care. I
Right.
have everything in the world. But they degraded the knowledge.
That's right.
Instead of taking in knowledge and saying, okay, Harry,
Yeah.
what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. If I did something wrong, I would say, hey,
Yeah.
what am I doing wrong? You won't understand this. When I went to the Mexican industry that you just said Harry got into it, when they did the first dance, I asked the people, where are you guys coming from? Oh, we come from a church. Oh, you have had anything to eat? No. What would you like? Menudo. What is menudo? Menudo is what we do. So I went to a nice lady, Italian, Mexican. I said, what is menudo? How can we make it? She said, okay, I'll help you. The next Sunday when they came, there was a menudo on everybody's table.
Oh, wow.
Sitting
Yeah.
it in there.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yeah, customer service now.
The point is that
Experience.
what is the next level? I'm not Mexican, but I can learn the culture.
That's right.
That's what I meant. Country bar, I did. I did even a strip bar, Zydeco.
Harry, you said to me, Mauricio, we're doing this as a favor to my friend, and we're gonna turn this ship around. I said, all right, easy. We're about to build the vault, and I'm working through that, and this is just extra work for me to learn.
One of the things that you just mentioned, almost all the nightclubs that I opened, other than the ones I built, were people's mistakes. Lariat was other people's mistake, and the one in the prune yard, that was one of the biggest one. Outlook on the Terrace, that was the biggest mistake. And that club, you know, the one that you're talking about, you know what I did? I had a white limousine. I used to have the girls get inside, go into all the big shopping centers, give everybody pass to come in, and before you knew it, at the end of the night, the place was packed.
Yeah.
Procedure of anything that you get into, you have to make sure you know how to promote it.
That's right.
Because that is what makes the word get around.
Yes.
And this is what the downtown needs. Because right now, if you go to Los Gatos, ask anyone, you want to go to a restaurant downtown San Jose? You don't want to hear what they say.
Oh, no, I've shared the comments to the people here.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's not just Los Gatos, it's everywhere.
Well, it's a
And
perception.
It's the perception, right? And one of the things that I learned, perception versus reality. So now we have to change the perception, but the reality has to be real.
Well, it is.
Right.
Because the perception is what? Experience. The guy comes in once, they see all the things that is nothing right. Here is, let's go back to Los Gatos. That's what happens. When he goes back, it says, tell all of his friends. I went there, you can't believe it, blah, 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 blah. That's what happens. It is reality until people get to accept it.
Correct.
And learn it. This is why people like you that already has had the problem,
That's right.
they become successful. They don't let it go to that far.
That's right.
You just catch it at the beginning. You fix it up right there. You know, you're in a good position, Mauricio, because your attitude is right. You're willing to learn. And if anything else comes out based on your experience, you go, well, I've been there, done that. No. You just have to be firm. No. No means no.
That's right. And I'm learning.
Maybe is what people get in trouble.
That's right.
No is no.
Yes.
Your employee's attitude of service is, if you let it go just a little bit, it'll become like a narcotic. You get addicted to it.
That's right.
The first thing is you don't take the narcotic, because you take it, it's going to get addiction.
That's right.
You let the guy get away, they will repeat it again.
Yes.
So the rules are non-negotiable. Whether it's your brother, your friend, your cousin, partner, doesn't make any difference. No means no.
And that of my this next level in my life that I'm in right now, with the people that I've surrounded myself with, the mentors that I have, and the new mentors that I have. My first book that I wrote, Smoke and Mirrors, was therapy for me. I talked about growing up as a child with the traumas, and then growing up into this young adult, and now to the man that I am today, the people that have influenced my life, to the point now where I'm in the room with guys like Mark Cuban, who's a billionaire, Magic Johnson, who's a billionaire, Tim Grover, who taught these great athletes to be of mindset of higher level. I'm now there the ability for me now to also share my story with my experiences. I can see it, I can taste it, And now I know that instead of getting arrogant like I did when I was younger and saying, God, you can take it all away from me today and I'll get it back tomorrow.
I get tomorrow.
Whew.
You thought
God
you were-
forgive me for ever saying that. And if that thought ever comes to cross my mind, please wipe that out, because I know that there is nothing like eating humble pie and really feeling what it's like to lose. And I know that we didn't really touch on that, Harry, but because we get caught up and we talked about the highlights, but there was points in your journey that you didn't know what was going to happen with the club, with clubs. I mean, there were certain clubs that maybe went through because of transitions, not because it forced you to become innovative and think of other ideas, but there was moments where it just depended, right? I mean, did you ever feel that you had that at any point?
Well, it might happen because when I had one time 10 nightclubs, remember?
Yeah.
I had Modesto, I
Yes.
had Fresno, I had
Sacramento,
Sacramento.
yes.
And I had San Jose. When you're saying, I wasn't available, I can't be in like 10 different cities all in one time.
Yeah.
And I even had a restaurant in Newport Beach where John Wayne used to come and get their food. That we used to park their boat in there. He would never come in, of course, but order it online. We get him all ready for them and get him out, so on. With that kind of a life, I mean, I had every dimension of entertainment other than gambling casino.
Yeah.
I had one of those. Yeah. Some of them I made mistakes because I couldn't personally be there to do the good job. But you look at it now, Miami Beach Club here has it.
Yeah.
Runs it very nice.
Still
club,
open to this
and
day.
it's packed. People go there dancing. And
Modesto?
Modesto is very successful with Rudy Baca.
Yeah.
He was a band leader.
Yeah.
La Sonora Moderna de Rudy Baca. And the night when Sonora Santanera was playing, Rudy was playing. And Carlito Colorado was head of it. He said, Harry, who's that guy? I said, my local band. He said, his musicians play better than mine.
Wow. Yeah.
But the guy had talent.
Yeah.
That's why he is now head of the nightclub. And he does all the big artists. They wanted what they wanted. And you are the same thing. Don't cut yourself short. Just stick to what you know.
Yes.
If you use what you know, you will be successful. Yes. And in Iran, again, the one I was running those things, he says, the guy who knows, but he's not aware of his knowledge, he's lost. Think about that. He knows, but he doesn't know that he knows. He's lost his ways. So this is where you come in, you have your knowledge, you have your rules, we don't deviate. Because once you go deviate, it becomes a habit. Even to yourself.
Yes.
When you go to drink, 2 drinks.
Yeah.
You do 3 today, there'll be 4 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And now 50 years of bar business, I should be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I drink Oduls.
Yeah. I'm going through a lot of transformation right now. In the last 5 months, I've lost, to record now, we're at about 28, 29, call it 30 pounds. I let myself go for a while because for whatever reason, and then I had to redirect myself. And I'm back in that mindset of where I was when I was young kid, growing up, wanting to just be a sponge and learn, that I've now had to go back to even basic eating, the drinking. Like, you're right, I did it for 25 years. I mean, we saw it, Harry. I mean, I saw it, I did it, I lived it, and I'm blessed that I never got to get to the point where it became an addiction in my life. Drinking, it would never became.
Mauricio, everybody does that.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a perfect human being.
Yeah.
There isn't no such thing. Those who learn from their mistakes, they don't repeat it. Those who don't learn from their mistakes, they just repeat the same mistake all the time. It becomes second nature to them. You just have to discipline yourself.
That's right.
Because you've got the knowledge that you have. I mean, God knows I put enough into you, which is nothing but experience.
Yes.
It's all experience.
Yes.
But the point is that if you let the discipline go, that's what happens.
That's right.
Now you know.
Yeah.
So what? What, a few pounds to lose?
Yeah.
What's a big deal?
No, absolutely.
I mean, there's nothing so bad happened.
No.
But the point is that you admitted
Correct. I accept it.
That's when it happens.
That's right.
Because the ones who don't admit their mistakes,
That's
they
right.
don't learn anything.
That's right.
They just repeat the mistake.
Right.
But if you learn from it, one more plus.
That's right. And I own it, and
Exactly.
I accept it, and I move on.
You have to own it.
Yeah.
You have to own it. Because what you thought, well, I'm a money-making machine, it doesn't happen, I'll do it tomorrow. No, you'll be amazed.
Going back to that, yeah, I got so arrogant that
I heard that. That's
yeah,
what I said.
when we lost it, and had we been prepared for the time when the economy took a shift in 2008,
And
it happened. And
I mean, there was a lot of things went wrong. And you're right. They totally closed all the nightclubs, all the restaurants.
yeah,
And now restaurants close. I remember my time, the restaurants I was involved with, we used to go to eat at 10 o'clock. They close at midnight,
yeah,
like Original Joe's used to do.
Yeah.
Everybody else
1 o'clock in
open
the morning, we used to-
until
yeah.
midnight.
Yeah.
Now they close at night.
yeah,
Even the best of the restaurants
yeah,
in Los Gatos.
yeah.
So if you're not there by 9 to give your food in, you're not going to get a good food. Even then, you don't get good food. You know why? Because the chef leaves and the cook is cooking it.
Yeah.
And if the cook likes to eat well-done meat, that's what you're going to get. Remember what happened to me after you
Yeah.
told me to go to the restaurant
Yeah.
at the hotel?
Yeah.
What is called?
The grill.
The grill.
Yeah, the grill.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places.
And the guy who served her,
Yeah.
and he was very embarrassed
Yeah.
because my food came totally different than when I ate when you were there
right.
at your party.
That's right.
I thought, oh, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they did it for Mauricio. So I go back there asking for repeat, and I didn't get it.
Well, it's been a great journey. It's not over. And again, Harry, you've been a big part of my career, my life. I've always felt that you were the father that I didn't have, and I felt that you poured into me the things that, you know, that I want to be just like my dad. I want to go I want to go make money and be in the industry
It
forever.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
They'd be amazed. It's just like a person who's got a father who's alcoholic.
Yeah.
Some sons become alcoholic. Some sons don't even want to drink it
That's right. Yeah.
because it's how your perception and who you really are deep inside.
Yeah.
My father said, there is no copy of such thing as men are like this, women are like that. Nobody by the virtue of their sex is the person like the next one.
Yeah.
Nobody is. So you have an opportunity of taking your back experience
Yeah.
and you have the right people with you. In fact, one of the people was in your party. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name. I was in a restaurant in Morgan Hill. And as soon as I went in there, not Ladera, this one has a different name, Greek name to it. He
Oh,
said,
I know.
Harry Evans.
I know which one. Yeah.
I saw you at Mauricio's party, and I was so embarrassed because I forget names.
Yeah.
And
It was either Tony.
he says, well, you get around, don't you?
It must have been Tony.
I was with a nice young lady,
Yeah.
and it goes, you guys around? I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, of
Next thing
course.
I know, the owner sends me champagne
Nice.
as a coming in. And I thanked him and I said, well, just reciprocate whatever they want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you are in a good place, Mauricio. You are in a good place. Just stick to what you know and keep your aim high.
Yes.
And again, another one, my father used to say, if you want to be good, go all the way to the billionaire. Even if you go half the way, you are a millionaire. Even if less than that, you still have a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
But if you want to be your teacher at the school, you'll be the janitor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how they say. You always tell I give Harry a credit. No, I was a good listener.
No.
All of this comes from 4,000 years of trial and error of the people
Yes.
that they give you on the platter. But if you don't take it, what good does that do? Yeah?
Yeah.
And you are in a good place, Mauricio.
Well, thank you. And yes, I feel that I am in a great place. I
Yes.
have great people that are around me, and I'm very blessed and thankful. And I also feel that part of my journey is that I also acknowledge the people that have planted those seeds in me. And again, going back to, you are one of those that at a young age, you were able to guide and share the knowledge that you and the wisdom. And today here we are, downtown San Jose, Silicon Valley,
Exactly.
Studio B, right? There's influence of Studio 47. There's of the Studio B concept of the room that's always next to the on-air studios. There's a lot of you exist. The Mirror Ball. This exists because this is part of who we are.
Well, that was the era. That was mostly actually that came from ballrooms. This is 1940s. The big ballroom and the soldiers used to come and dance, and the taxi dance they called it. The soldiers, because they didn't have women, women would be there. You buy a tickets, jeton they call it. You give a jeton, you ask a girl to dance. It was right there. I saw Frank Sinatra in a ballroom in Boston, Riviera or something like that. They was called totem pole. It went like this, sitting in the top, and Frank Sinatra came in there and singing with Baldy. Mirror Room was up there.
Yeah. So the Mirror Ball is a symbol to me in nightlife.
Yes.
I saw it in the nightclubs in Hollywood and Los Angeles, and remember when I came into the Bay Area, at a young age, the Mirror Ball has always been a symbolism of our industry, and it'll stay with me for the rest of my life. If I can put a mirror ball in my house, I'll put a mirror ball in my house.
This is who you are. You see, make a nightclub, man, because we're working hours that most people are home.
That's
Remember
right.
that.
Nocturnal.
I had this thing I used to say. Everyone would say, Harry, when can we call you? I say, I come alive at 5. So call me after 5. That's when I come alive, because I'm there until 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And in fact, I learned this. The guy used to own the Zorba the Greek.
Yes.
Pete Curetas.
Yeah, the Coretta family, yeah.
He was the landlord of the rodeo.
Yeah.
He would go in the club, in the restaurant, get every meat that was coming in, and he chooses it because the guy who delivers the meat has got good one, bad one. If the boss isn't there, you throw some of the bad one in there. Yeah. But he would go and take every one of them, make sure he gets the right food. So when you went there, you got the best there was. Right. And he will be there until the last dollar was counted. That's what you call a saloon man.
Yeah.
He dedicated his life to those hours. Yeah. And so did you. Except you enjoy doing it. That's the point.
I do. Yeah.
You see, that's the point.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when ballroom dancing, okay, what's the big deal? You get 8 hours, beautiful ladies in your arm. Yeah. You tell me you would do it with my arm.
And that was part of the falling in love with the nightlife industry was the ability to have that experience on a constantly changing. Every week, there was always something new and exciting.
You have to do that. Yeah. We have to. You will not eat the best steak in the world every day. No. Even if you did, because then you won't appreciate it anymore. So you have to make the change. People change, but there are also groups of people with different tastes. Yeah. So you do, if you want to go have a nice fish restaurant, then make that in a good fish restaurant. Right. If you want to make a nightclub for people over 40, you play a certain music for them. They like that. And then you throw in the new generation, like you talked to Studio 47, you could throw some Stevie B in there. Yeah. The Song in the Summer and Sweet Sensation, Cover Girls. This is what you do. You give everybody what they want.
That's right.
But you have to have that in your mind, diversified clientele.
That's right.
And you know you can.
Yep.
And you've had the experience.
And that's what we're doing. We're working on that.
There was, you're putting in a lot of life, 50 years of it, compacting it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are so many nuances in there that we haven't even touched.
Yeah.
See, that is another thing. You develop other people trusting in you.
That's right.
Because of your performance.
That's right.
And you have all this knowledge put on one Mauricio. What else do you need? You have the knowledge. You have the people with money. Mm-hmm. You have the connection. You have the city that really needs it. Mm-hmm. San Jose needs it. I live in Los Gatos. Yeah. And all my friends are in Los Gatos. When I asked them, I used to have this place in San Jose. Did you get killed? No, I didn't. You see, their perception is this, and those are people's money. You got to change that.
And that's what we're working on. And the way that this is all going to come about is with the experience that I have built.
Because those
30,
people with money, they don't have your experience money.
No.
This is the whole point. If something goes wrong in an airplane flying, the people who are flying, they can't run it unless there is a captain who's as a customer in there. And then he goes, okay, let me go get in there and save everybody's life.
Yeah.
Without him, the plane would have gone, people would have died.
That's right.
So that one man walks in and saves the airplane. You are the one man who can set the stage. What should downtown look like?
Yes.
Even if you have to get in a plane, fly to Paris, go to one of the nice places, go to Italy,
Yeah.
go Germany, go England, don't forget to go to Turkey.
I've heard Turkey's a
And if you have nothing else to do, go to the Cyprus Island, the Greek side.
Okay.
24 hours a day, party goes on, never stops. All the wealthy people are there.
Yeah.
Then when you come back, even more knowledge that what people tell you, what people act, you already experienced it.
Yeah.
Because you can use that with what you have now. What we learned was years ago. Mm-hmm. We're not going to play that music, that style, but we can have the thought with a different version of it.
That's right. That's
New
right.
car, new airplane,
Yeah.
modern today.
And that's what we're doing. We're modernizing and we're bringing life. And for me specifically, I'm really focused in the downtown core because this to me is where I see the greater opportunity because I have so much time invested here. And
it's needed.
And it's needed. There's a need.
You have hungry people
Yeah.
expecting somebody like Mauricio to show up
Yeah.
and put some oomph in it.
Yeah. And we're doing it. And again, going back to it, to the root of this, thank you so much for everything that you did. For not just me, but for the thousands of people as well that you provided a lot of entertainment for, a lot of great experiences, a lot of great memories. And to me, today is a very important day, a very special day for
Thank
me
you.
as well.
Thank you.
To have you here with me because, again, tomorrow's never promised. And to me, to be here and spend the time with you and tell you how much I appreciate it, how much I love you as a human being and the person that you have been in my life. It's just so. Anyhow, Harry, thank you for being here, for spending your time and being able to share with the world now because this is going to live on it forever and ever. And I can't wait to get the feedback that's going to come back and how we shared two people from different times. We crossed paths and we created a lot of magic.
Well, you have to give yourself a credit in a sense that no matter who comes in our life, we should be like a little honey-making red bee that goes on, gets a flavor here, gets a flavor there, gets a flavor there, and at the end you have this beautiful honey that everybody likes to eat.
Well, I definitely like to get a little flavor from everywhere.
This is the whole point. You know, get from everybody everything they have to give.
Yes.
And you take this and you put them together.
Yes.
And you get a perfect combination of be successful.
Yes.
Then it is up to you how much of what you know you actually put it at use.
Yeah.
That's what it finishes the story.
Good.
And I'm happy, I'm honored to be in here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. We're not done yet. We still got one more in us. We're working on. We're gonna open up another venue sometime in the near future.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make something happen because the
Absolutely.
music is still gonna keep going and the
Because
mirables
it's-
are still gonna be hanging. So
because it is part of being a human being. Be proud of yourself.
thank you. Well, we're gonna continue this. We're gonna continue this journey, and you're a part of my life for the rest of my life. And again, we're just making big things happen. We're taking over San Jose.
One more exercise.
Yeah, go
Every
for it.
morning when you get up,
Yes.
you talk to the man in the mirror.
Yes.
You let him know what your plan is for today.
Yes.
So tomorrow you can tell that idiot you screwed it up.
I love you, Harry.
Another 4,000 years of history.
Oh, man. All right. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight.
Absolutely.
Mauricio Mejia Live. We broke records here, and this has definitely been an amazing show, and I want to thank you, Harry, again. I love you very
My
much.
pleasure.
You're my,
I love you, man.
and
You're being my son, whether you know it or not.
there you go. And I'll take that. I'll take that with me forever. So, again, thank you, everyone, and stay tuned. This Mauricio Mejia Live, downtown San Jose, Silicon Valley, Studio B.
Mauricio Mejia Live.